In a week where 6 of the top 14 teams in the nation lost, this week's episode is going to be a doozy as I break down all 11 games in the district and preview what the 4th week of district games are going to look like, as we're starting to get a clearer picture of who has a real shot of cutting down the nets in Ina come March. And the first game was on Monday night with Logan against Rend Lake. Again, not a district game, but a GRAC game nonetheless. And Logan did indeed go into Ina and dominate the Warriors, winning 88-48. The Vols were led by Alfred Worrell, who went 9 of 12 from the field and 4 of 6 from behind the arc, off the bench, finishing with 25 points. Jordan Logan and Elliot Londas scored 10 points each, with Logan grabbing 6 rebounds. Londas was 5 of 11 from the field and grabbing 11 rebounds. Rend Lake was led by, surprise, surprise, Justin King. He had 11 points off of a 5 of 12 shooting night. The Warriors scored 19 points in the first half while giving up 44, and it turned out to be too much of a hole later on to crawl out of as they lose big on their home floor. The Vols then had to turn around and host an OCC team that is rallying behind Coach Levina, and they fell 78-76. The Vols had 3 players in double figures, led by RJ Walker, who was 8 of 17 from the floor and had 7 assists with 3 rebounds. Julian Norris was 6 of 14, including 5 of 9 from behind the arc, and grabbed 4 rebounds. He finished with 17 points. And Elliot Londas once again was efficient, going 7 of 9, having 7 of his 10 rebounds coming from the defensive end and having 3 blocked shots again. Jalen Fairman scored 8 points off the bench and dished out 7 assists for the Vols, but it wasn't enough as Olney was led by Jacoby Thomas, who off the bench finished with 26 points after going 10 of 16 from the field and having 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Damian Walkup was 5 of 10 and 3 of 4 from 3, finishing with 15 and had 4 rebounds as well. JT Thomas was 6 of 11 with 8 rebounds and 2 assists. He had 15. This game was tied at half and was within a few possessions going into the second half and throughout the second half. I said Vincennes was going to struggle in Belleville, and I was proven correct, as Vincennes did indeed struggle against the Blue Storm in Belleville, winning a defensive battle 69-61. SWIC was led by Dallas Rivas, who was 7 of 15 from the field and 6 of 6 from the foul line. He also had 5 rebounds, finishing with 20 points. And Nazir Leonard was 6 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9 from the stripe, and had 18. Vincennes didn't fare much better as they only had 2 players in double figures, and that was LeBron Thomas and Michael Osei-Bonsu. Thomas was 7 of 14 from the field and grabbed 5 rebounds and dished out 4 assists as he finished with 18 points. Michael Osei-Bonsu, who going into this game averaged a double-double on the season, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and he exceeded that expectation on Wednesday with a 15 points, going 7 of 9 shooting, and had 16 rebounds, 9 of them being offensive rebounds. Both teams couldn't shoot their way out of a wet paper bag, as Vincennes was 4 of 21 from behind the arc, while SWIC was 1 of 15. Vincennes won the bench battle points with scoring 15 of them, while SWIC only scored 7, and that was the difference in this ballgame. Lakeland fell for the 3rd straight game on Wednesday, losing 82-74 against Wabash Valley. Sean Dekonovich was 8 of 14 from the field, had 6 assists with 4 rebounds, and he finished with 23 points. Aaron Davis was 6 of 16 and had 4 assists while hitting 2 of 5 from 3, and he finished with 17. Bryson Bond only had 3 points, but he grabbed 7 rebounds, leading the way for the Lakers, as Daniel Robinson led the way for the Warriors with 20 points, going 8 of 11 from the floor and grabbing 9 rebounds, 8 of them being on the defensive side. Lucas Henderson was 5 of 13, hit 4 threes, and finished with 14. Brandon Razor Moore grabbed 8 rebounds, had 2 assists, was 6 of 15 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the line, finishing with 19 points. The Warriors' dominated on the boards continued, with Julian McGowan grabbing 7 more for them and was 4 of 6 from the free throw line, finishing with 10. The only player to score off the bench for Wabash Valley was Andron Sprinkles, who was 3 of 4 from the field and was a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. He finished with 13. The Blue Devils of Kaskaskia went into Robinson and won 80-74, with having 5 players with 10 or more points. Will Vassar was 6 of 10 from the field, had 15 points, and Isaiah Tolbert had 15 points as well. He was 3 of 7 from the field and was 8 of 10 from the foul line, and he grabbed 7 rebounds. The third Blue Devil with 15 points was Caleb Jenkins, who was 6 of 17 from the floor and had 6 rebounds. Lionel Hodges was 5 of 10 and grabbed 10 rebounds as he had 13 points, and Kamari Slaughter came off the bench for Coach Hancock and had 11 points on a 4 of 8 shooting night. The Statesman Gabe Amorgier, who was 9 of 14 from the field, had 12 rebounds, finishing with 21. Ali Alford was 4 of 6 and had 3 rebounds, with finishing with 13, and Devin Bell was the last starter in double digits for Lincoln Trail with 12 points. He was 5 of 10 from the field and had 4 assists. Marlon Bennett was 5 of 10 off the bench and had 4 rebounds. He finished with 11 points, but again, it wasn't to be for Lincoln Trail as they fell on the road against Kaskaskia. Shawnee gets their first win in the GRAC as they beat Rend 81-60. Johnny Anderson was 6 of 8 with 3 of 5 from behind the arc with 4 rebounds and finishing with 15. Kashawn Washington scored 18 points, leading All Saints as he was 6 of 11 from the field, hitting 5 threes and had 5 assists, all off the bench. Miles Lemon was a perfect 4 for 4 from the field and having 10 rebounds as he finished with 8 points. Well, as I said in previous episodes when I cover Rend Lake, you stop Justin King, you stop the Warriors offense. He only had 2 field goals, but was perfect 11 of 11 from the foul line and had 6 rebounds and 4 assists, finishing with 16. The other Warrior was Hayden Hoffman, who was 3 of 5 from the field and had 11 points. And as a team, the Warriors only shot 38.5% from the field and 5 of 25 from 3. And going 15 of 17 from the stripe. But like I said, this offense for Rend Lake runs through Justin King. You stop him like Shawnee was able to do, you have a big chance of winning this ballgame, and Shawnee proved it, winning by 21. Shawnee used that Rend Lake game momentum and jumped out early against SWIC on Saturday and led by as many as 23 points in the second half. It wasn't close as the Saints rout the Blue Storm 84-68. Johnny Anderson was 7 of 12 from the field and had 8 rebounds as he finished with 17, leading All Saints. Kashawn Washington off the bench had 14 points and was 6 of 6 from the foul line with 5 assists and hitting 2 threes. Ladricus Pittman was 3 of 5 from 3, had 4 assists, 2 steals, finishing with 11. Osiris Marr had 8 rebounds and 5 assists while having 11 points as well. SWIC was led by Nazir Leonard, who was 5 of 6 from the foul line and had 4 rebounds, finishing with 12, as he led 4 Blue Storm players in double digits. Saxon Hopker had 8 rebounds and 2 blocks while going 4 of 11 from the field, finishing with 11. Torian Minkins hit 3 threes and grabbed 3 rebounds as he too finished with 11 points. Jamar Barber was 3 of 7 from the floor and had 2 steals to go along with 5 rebounds, finishing with 10. Shawnee, as a team, shot 51.7% from the floor compared to SWIC's 37% from the floor. They also took care of the ball, only having 9 turnovers while forcing SWIC into turning the ball over 16 times. And again, this game wasn't close as SWIC wins big on their home floor. Brandon Razor Moore hit a half-court shot at the end of regulation as Wabash Valley went into overtime against Kaskaskia and won it 103-97. Moore was 8 of 17 and had 20 points, including that 3, and had 5 rebounds as there was 5 Warriors in double figures. Daniel Robinson was 8 of 10 from the floor, had 19 points, as he also had 2 steals. Andron Sprinkles was 4 of 7 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the foul line, and had 5 rebounds, finishing with 16. Kaleem Taylor had 8 rebounds and 4 assists as he finished with 14. Lucas Henderson also had 14 points for the Warriors as he was 4 of 5 from the floor and 4 of 6 from the foul line. The Blue Devils had 3 players with 20-plus points, with Caleb Jenkins leading them all with 22 off of an 8 of 16 shooting night, going 5 of 6 from the foul stripe and having 14 rebounds. Will Vassar was 5 of 5 from the line, 7 of 15 from the floor, having 21 points and dishing out 5 assists, as Isaiah Tobel was 7 of 13 from the field and had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and he too had 21 points. The last Blue Devil in double figures just missed out on joining the other 3 in the 20-plus point club, and that was Kamari Slaughter, who was 6 of 17 from the field, had 10 rebounds and 6 assists, and adding 3 more steals. He finished with 18 points and did foul out into this game. I think if Kamari Slaughter doesn't foul out, this game is even closer, and Kamari gets 20-plus points, having 4 Blue Devil players in that club. But again, Wabash Valley able to pull out an impressive victory in this one in overtime on their home floor. The Lincoln Trail Rend Lake game was a battle to see who could pick up their first win in the GRAC, and the Statesmen pulled it out, winning 90-78. Gabe Amorgi was on fire, going 10 of 13 from the field, having 8 rebounds, finishing with 23 points for the Statesmen. Caden Huttenlocker was 7 of 10, including 3 threes and 4 rebounds. He had 17. Off the bench, Delvin Bell had 14, but he only shot 5 of 15 from the field and hit 1 3. Marlon Bennett also hit 3 trays and had 5 rebounds, finishing with 11, as Shea Alulier was 5 of 8 from the floor, had 7 rebounds and 2 assists. He finished with 10. For Rend Lake, it was Justin King again, going 6 of 12, having 8 assists, going along with 2 steals, and was 11 of 12 from the foul line, finishing with 24 in the losing effort. He got a little bit of help, though, as Reese Johnson was 7-11, hitting 4 threes and adding 4 more assists. He finished with 18. And the last Warrior in double digits was Brady Moore, who had 10 points off of 4-8 shooting night and had 4 rebounds, all off the bench. This game was a little bit of a surprise for me, as Logan was looking to bounce back against the Lakers of Lakeland, but was not able to, as Lakeland won 81-74. Elliot Londas was 9 of 13 from the field, had 11 rebounds and 4 blocked shots, finishing with 23 points. RJ Walker was 7 of 18 from the field and 7 of 8 from the line, having 8 rebounds, 7 assists with 3 steals, and he finished with 22. Caden Hawkins was 3 of 7 from 3 and had 4 rebounds as he finished with 11 points. Lakeland was led by Johnny Jones, who came off the bench, had 21 points, going 6 of 12, all from 3. And Sean Dekonovich was 7 of 12, going 3 of 3 from behind the arc, and had 6 rebounds and 3 steals, finishing with 20. Salah Alayani was 5 of 9 from the field, but was big on the boards for the Lakers as he ripped down 14 of them, 9 of them being defensive and stopping any Logan momentum. Lakeland as a team was impressive as they went 15 of 15 from the foul line in the win in Carterville. JUCO Weekly had this as one of the games of the week to watch as the number 3 team in the country went into the dungeon and left with a 1-point loss as Vincennes fell to Olney Central 73-72. Vincennes had a chance to win it in the final seconds as they had 2 good looks at it but fell short. Olney Central had 4 players in double figures, with Demarion Walkup leading the way for the starters as he finished with 14 points while going 4 of 5 from the line and grabbed 6 rebounds and 2 assists. JT Thomas also had 14 as he hit 3 threes, had 8 rebounds, 8 blocks, and 4 assists. Javon Jones went 6 of 8 from the field and had 6 rebounds as he finished with 14 off the bench for the Blue Knights. Darian Lewis was 3 of 7 from the floor and 4 of 8 from the foul line, having 5 assists, 4 rebounds, finishing with 11. Vincennes was led by, surprise, surprise, LeBron Thomas as he was 9 of 16 and had 6 rebounds and 4 assists as he finished with 19, leading all Blazers where they had 3 players in double figures. Victor Lato was efficient as he was 4 of 8 grabbing 6 rebounds and finishing with 12 points. And to talk about efficiency, the most efficient Blazer was Kyrie Dixon, going 7 of 9 and having 5 rebounds, finishing with 16 points off the bench. OCC won the turnover battle, only turning the ball over 11 times, forcing Vincennes to turn it over 15 times, had 10 block shots, hit 9 of 25 from 3, while Vincennes was again shooting ice cold, going 3 of 14 from behind the arc. Boy, I said it was a big-time game with that Olney Vincennes game also determining who was going to be the top team in the district as we sit. And Olney is the top team at 5-1, with Vincennes being 4-1. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's games, starting with Logan and Kaskaskia. I think Logan, they're coming off of a bad loss against Lakeland, and Kaskaskia is coming off of a bitter loss to Wabash Valley. This is at Kaskaskia, so I think that's going to lean more towards them as they have better luck on their home floor. But I wouldn't be surprised as if Logan pulls out the victory. I just don't see it happening this week, though, and I'm going to give the win to the Blue Devils of Kaskaskia. The next game I'm going to talk about in the Wednesday slate of games is going to be Lakeland against Shawnee. It's going to be held at Mattoon, and I think that might be enough for the Lakers to pull out this win against the Saints. Now, with that being said, the Saints pulled out a huge, shocking win against SWIC, while at the same time, Lakeland was able to pull out that huge, shocking win against Logan. Yes, I know Logan is having a down year, but they're still the defending national champions, and to go into that house and win in Carterville was impressive. And that's why I think Lakeland's going to win this ballgame. Nothing against Shawnee. I just think that they're going to ride the high of that win against Logan and pull out another big-time win against the Saints. Now, with that being said, can Shawnee come in and beat them? Yes. Do I see it happening? Probably not, unfortunately, but that's just because I think they're going to be so high on their win against SWIC Saturday night that even though Coach Sparks is going to try to get them right for this game against Lakeland, I don't see it happening, and I think that, like I said, the Lakers are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be within a couple of possessions. It might be within a couple of points, to be completely honest, as the Lakers haven't been able to defend home court as well as some of these other teams. This next game is not a district game, as I always like to say when Rend Lake is in the picture, as Olney Central host the Warriors of Rend Lake, and I honestly don't see Rend Lake pulling out a win here. Yes, Olney's going to be on a high with their 2 big-time wins going on the road at Logan and then coming home and beating Vincennes by a single point. But I think Coach Lidvina is going to have them ready to go against another GRAC opponent. And I think that they're going to continue to rally behind him as Coach Glash continues to get healthy. And I think Olney Central is just too much of a team. They should have been ranked in the latest polls. They are in the receiving votes categories, but I think they should have been in the top 20 after that big-time win against the number 3 team in the country. So with that being said, I see Olney Central winning this by 20 points plus. And I just think that it's going to be too much of a road burden for Rend Lake to come out in this. Speaking of the poll this week, Vincennes fell 5 slots down to number 8, and they host Lincoln Trail this week. I think Vincennes is going to come back and have a grudge against the Statesmen, and they're going to come out and show what the number 8 team in the country looks like. And that is going to be winning by 15 points against a struggling in the district Lincoln Trail team. And that is saying just because I think that Coach Franklin on the bus ride home from Olney read them the riot act and said, oh, now you get your first taste of a loss in this district. You see how hard it is to win in this district, especially on the road. Let's protect our home. We got 2 games this week. Let's protect our home and take care of business Wednesday night against Lincoln Trail. I think they're going to do it. They're going to win by 15, and unfortunately for Lincoln Trail, they're going to continue to struggle. And the last game on Wednesday is going to be Wabash Valley against SWIC. This game is going to be a good game. SWIC is coming off of a bad showing against Shawnee, and Wabash Valley is coming off of a high in their overtime win against Kaskaskia that took an half-court shot at the buzzer to even send it into overtime. With all that being said, I think it's going to be the Brandon Razor Moore show, and it's going to be too much for the Blue Storm, as I think Wabash Valley is going to win this game by 10 points. I think that this is going to be one of those statement games that Wabash Valley is looking for. They're going to continue to be one of the top teams in this league, and SWIC, unfortunately, is going to fall once again. And I just see this being one of the more the last Wednesday game is going to be Wabash Valley against SWIC. And SWIC is coming off of a heartbreaking loss against Shawnee, while Wabash Valley is coming off of a huge emotional win against Kaskaskia. I see this being another huge win for Wabash Valley, and I don't think that this is going to be one of those games where it's back and forth. I think Wabash is going to come out. They're going to control the tempo. They're going to be able to find Brandon Razor Moore, and he's going to have a night, as I think Wabash is going to win this by 10-plus points. And unfortunately for SWIC, they have a tough week ahead of them. And for Wabash, they just continue to win and continue to show why they're one of the top teams in the district. I said SWIC had a tough week with Wabash Valley. Saturday, they host Olney Central, so it gets even harder. And I think Coach Levina is going to have this team ready to go for the Blue Knights, especially since I think, again, personally, I think they should be ranked. They aren't. They are receiving votes. I think Coach Levina is going to have that all week long in this team's head, that showing them, hey, we're good enough to be ranked again. Let's get there with two big-time wins against Rend and then against SWIC on the road at SWIC. And again, that game is very tough to win in Belleville. I think Olney is going to be able to do it, and I think it's going to be one of these games where Demarion Walkup is going to be able to take control. Again, their front court is so deep, and again, in our last episode, I talked to Coach Ledvina, and he said how he doesn't expect one player to be able to carry this team, and it showed against Vincennes. It's going to show against Rend Lake, and I think it's going to show against SWIC. They're going to need it, as Coach Harrington is not going to want to have a 3-game losing streak going into next week, and then he's going to pull out all the stops against Olney Central. From one Hall of Fame coach to another, let's go ahead and jump into the Vincennes versus Wabash Valley game. This is going to be at the PE complex, and I think that the crowd at Vincennes should be there and should show their support for the Blazers. It's going to be a big win, or a big game, excuse me. I do think Vincennes is going to pull out the win, because, again, it's really hard to win on the road in this district. Vincennes having back-to-back home games, I think that's going to help them. They're going to see the fans are going to see the game against Lincoln Trail and come out Saturday. It's in the evening. I think Wabash is just, even though they're going to come off of a big-time win against SWIC, I think that it's just going to be too much. Back-to-back emotional wins. I think Coach Franklin is going to be able to settle his team down, be able to win 2 games, and again, possibly climb in the polls. But I think, again, it's going to be Vincennes. I think this is going to be a closer game than Wednesday night's game is going to be for VU. I still have them winning probably by 8 points, though. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season that Shawnee versus Logan and Olney is going to be a toss-up game, I would have called you crazy. You have the defending national champions, number 4 in the preseason polls, going into Shawnee, where they have played well, and come out with a toss-up win, or maybe even lose that game. You're crazy. But again, this Logan team has not been able to pull everything together. Yes, it's a brand new team for Coach Tyler Smith-Peters in his second year of coaching, And I think that's just going to be the downfall for the Volunteers in this game, unfortunately. I think Logan is going to fall to Shawnee. I think it's going to be within 5 points. It's going to be close. I just think that the seasoning of Coach Sparks is going to be enough to beat Coach Smith-Peters. Now, if Logan wins, I mean, that's not really surprising because Shawnee is very hit or miss on when they want to defend home floor. They are at home, though. I'll give them the win by 5. Rend Lake versus Kaskaskia. Again, a GRAC game, not a district game. And I think Kaskaskia is going to go on the road to Ina, and they are going to roll over the Warriors. I think the fact that they're going to maybe lose against Logan is going to put a bad taste in their mouth, especially after losing a heartbreaker against Wabash Valley. They're going to want to take their aggression out on somebody, and unfortunately, lately that has been the Warriors of Rend Lake. And I think it's going to continue in this game. I'm going to have Kaskaskia winning this by double digits. It's not going to be, I think it will be within 15 points. But I think Kaskaskia is going to be too deep of a team. They're going to be able to stop Justin King, and I think they're going to pull out a big-time win. Now, if Rend Lake can find their first win in the GRAC against Kaskaskia, that is going to be a shockwave of all shockwaves, to be honest with you, as Rend Lake has not been playing very well in conference play. And the final game we're going to preview is going to be Lincoln Trail versus Lakeland. And, you know, honestly, this is going to be another big-time road for the Lakers. I think they are going to play well. And, unfortunately, I think they're still going to pick up this win. I don't think that Lincoln Trail is going to pick up a win this week. Again, Lincoln Trail is battling hard. They're getting better. It's going to be more competitive. I just, unfortunately, I don't see a way the Statesmen can win, especially with Lakeland. Again, that game, I can't stress enough how much that Lakeland-Logan game shocked me. As I was watching it Saturday, I was like, oh, Logan's going to be able to bounce back after their tough loss to Olney, and they are going to be able to cruise in this game, and then to see Lakeland come out, hit Logan in the mouth, and continue to hit them in the mouth. Yes, Logan responded, but it was too much for them, and Lakeland was able to pull out that win. I think that the Lakers are really starting to find their groove now, and it is going to be a good win for the Lakers on the road. Again, tough place to play on the road, but I think Lakeland's going to pull out the win. Well, like I said, a good slate of games last week. 11 games was a lot. We have 10 more here. And as you see on your screen now, the district standings after 3 weeks, Olney Central pulls ahead of Vincennes at 5-1. Vincennes drops to 4-1. Vincennes has 2 district games this week. Olney has 1. So everybody's going to be pretty even up going into next week. It is going to be a fantastic week of ball games. We got a good slate on Wednesday night. Again, and then Saturday afternoon, always a good time. 5 games each day. It is a basketball fiend's dream come true in January as you get ready for March Madness. As always, again, I think we're really going to we have really started to see the top 3 teams pull away, and that's going to be Olney, Vincennes, and Wabash. Both teams only having 1 loss on the district so far. That the Vincennes Wabash game is going to be very interesting to see who's going to be 2-3 heading into a week from now, and it's just going to be one of those games where whoever wins, I still see Olney as the team to beat at the moment. Coach Levina has really had that team firing on all cylinders and ready to go as they continue to play, continue to rally. It's going to be a tough road, but we are getting to see a clearer picture. That's going to be my analysis of this week's ball games. Let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, if I'm way off base on one team or another down in the comments below. Until then, I will see you all in the next episode.